Boom. And we are live with another episode of the Brownwater Banter podcast. My name is Jared Seymour.
My name is Joey K.
Damn, slowed it down with the sip of bourbon in the middle of it. Okay, that's new. We got to freshen it up some kind of way. We're doing the same way every time we start off the show. We got a great show for you this evening, man. We have Rus Jones in the studio from Smokey Ribs Barbecue, YouTube channel that is absolutely crushing it. I've been a fan of it for a very long time. I hate that it's taken this long to get him in the studio, but I'm very excited about it. Rus is going to be talking to us about how he got to start and all the killer recipes, man. I got 1,000 questions, so looking forward very much to jumping into this. But before we do that, the fans of the show know right where I'm headed already. We're going to talk about the people that support us, man. If you are looking for a great local dentist, we can't stress it enough. Dr. Robbie Williams over at Southern Magnolia Smiles, located right over here on Washington Avenue in Ocean Springs. He's got a great group of people working for him. You can see him here, the people watching on the live stream, man. Just a friendly staff. If you're looking for a great local dentist, I highly suggest checking them out. If you are on the socials, man, jump over to Facebook and Instagram. They are at Southern Magnolia Smiles. You can get to know them a little bit. And when you're ready to make that appointment, make that call. You can jump over there to the landline and give them a shout at 228-215-1202 and tell them that you heard about them on the Brownwater Banter podcast.
That's right.
We appreciate Dr. Robbie for always supporting the show, man. He's been with us for a while. Hill Tree Marketing, moving along, right along here. This is Jesse Hill and his team. A couple episodes we had him on back a couple episodes, and he told us the whole story, man. I highly suggest if you haven't heard that one, go check it out. He's built a local marketing team here that can handle all of your IT needs, your website design, photography, videography, aerial drone cinematography. If you need something built on the internet or filmed, a commercial, Jesse and his team can do it for you. So jump over to hilltreemarketing.com, take a look at some of the local brands that he's already worked with. I think you might recognize some of them. And if you need that type of service, man, hit him up. Tell him that we sent him. Or go to brownwaterbanter.com because he built our website and we're
award-winning.
When is that going to get old, do you think? For us?
Not for me, because I'm going to tell everybody we have an award-winning website.
Yep. Okay. I agree with that. All right. I'm moving along here. So is Rocky still in our good graces? I can't remember.
Yes, Rocky put us in this hold
on, let me break it down. Hold on. Yeah, we're in there.
The new edition. This is the old one, but we're in there. Yes.
Okay, we got to get an updated copy if we're going to keep doing that.
Yeah, I went to Hole and Hitch the other day and grabbed one.
Okay, sweet. Rocky, man, good friend of ours, just did it. He showed out a little bit at the Pascagoula Men's Club fishing tournament not too long ago.
Yeah, I think he lunker redfish.
Yeah. He flexed on him over there. Yeah. So he also runs a store, man. If you're Gautier Van Cleve Road, if you're local here, you know that exit. Take the exit, head south. It'll be on your left, or just look it up on Facebook or on the Googles there. See the Swamp. They've got all your needs covered here, man. Apparel, fishing, hats, shirts, shorts, tackle boxes, man, plastics, rods, reels, extra tough boots.
He's got a good order of rod and reels in, so I think he got some Travalas and some Pin Battles. So if you're looking for him, especially snapper season still rolling around, so go see him.
Yep,
sure.
Yep,
and he'll put some line on them reels too.
Yeah, that's true, and he does repair too. So if you got a reel that's looking a little under the weather there, he can bring it back to life for you. We appreciate all of our sponsors for being a part of the show, man. So let's jump into it. As we told you, Rus Jones, man, thank you so much for coming in this evening and talking with us. I got a ton of questions, man, but I guess we'll start like, how did you get this YouTube thing going? You got a lot of followers, 200, Joey and I checked it, 248,000. So this is no slouch. You got the play button at your house, right?
Oh yeah.
Yep. I'm jealous, honestly. But how'd you get your start?
Be honest with you, I had heard of YouTube, prior to actually looking through it. I'm like, I just didn't really care about even looking at it,
Okay.
And then it's not a very long story, but
hey, we got a lot of time and a lot of bourbon.
Okay.
So fire away, sir.
So I'm working at the shipyard and I'm trying to figure a way. There was no overtime. I'm saying to myself, I need some extra income,
Okay.
What can I do from the house? And I decided to build this website, and I called it cavemart.com. And I was going to sell like man cave items, which got me into grills, and which I've been grilling and smoking for many, many, many years.
I was going to say,
right.
Yeah.
And it didn't take me about 2 months in to realize that you can't compete with Amazon.com.
No. Yes, not happening. Not today.
You can't do it. So, but during my little research for that website, I discovered YouTube. I mean, I already knew about it, but I'd never looked at it. And I discovered there was a barbecue community out there. you know.
What year is this, to give us a little bit of context?
It's coming up 10 years. It was July the 12th of 2012 when I started my channel.
Okay.
Right at 10 years.
So I'm thinking about it myself, and I'm thinking that's about the time when it was hitting mobile pretty hard, like the very beginnings of it. People are watching. I remember myself 2012 watching it through my PlayStation on the TV, right? So it's not just on the desktop, it's slowly trickling out. So you hit it at a really good time. Yeah.
Yeah, I did, and a lot of things have changed since then. Now I'm kind of grandfathered in. Now you have to have so many subs, so many view hours, and all that before you can even get monetized.
Correct.
And I'll be honest with you, I was having such a good time with it. I didn't even know you could make money with it until I was 6 months in. I kept reading about monetizing. Back in November, and this is all I do now. I
love it.
I'm full-time YouTube.
I love it.
Awesome. So it's usually you and your boy, right?
Yeah, I've started. He's actually been my cameraman for the last 5 years out of the 10, and but just in the past year, he started being more active in the videos somewhat, you know, because I am
on screen.
Older.
He's on screen now. What you mean?
Yeah. Because I'm getting older, and one day I won't be able to do this, so hopefully he can just kind of
pass it on, pass the torch.
It on.
Yeah,
you know?
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. That's a family thing. You know, we love that. So you mentioned it though. You didn't just start cooking when you were looking up Amazon man cave stuff and so have you been the guy that was always in the kitchen loving to just cook whatever? Because I've watched your videos, and you got the skills, you got the chops.
Yeah, my mother had a lot to do with that, because when I was a child or a young or older kid, young teenager, I was very heavily into fishing, hunting, and camping.
Don't say.
And I was one of these guys that set up the tent in the backyard, and I'm going to cook out there. So that's where my interest of cooking began. And my mother showed me everything.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And at 14 years old, I remember she had to go in the hospital for a whole week, and I cooked every meal for my dad and my brother. My brother was already out of the house, but he worked for my dad. They owned Jones Owning and Fence Company in Pascagoula.
Okay.
And I cooked all the meals for them, you know. And
they were like, "This boy's got some skills."
Yeah. I think that's the first video I saw y'all is the when you smoke mullet.
Oh yeah,
the smoked up mullet.
The Biloxi bacon, baby.
You had thrown off the pier, caught the mullet, smoked them. That's where it's at.
That reminds me of old times, like in my life with my grandma. She smokes mullet, you know, still to this day.
Really?
And it's I love it. I mean, you can't beat it. People don't understand, you know, mullet's it's got a special place in the heart of people down here in Biloxi, right? Louisiana, I don't think they like them as much because they're dirtier.
I don't know what it is, but people talk about smoked salmon and stuff like that, which is good. But I'm like, man, give me a smoked mullet.
Absolutely.
Freshly caught and fried too. You cannot beat it. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I mean,
especially a Horn Island mullet.
Yeah, right. They're cleaner.
Yeah,
they're cleaner.
Sand bottoms.
Yeah, they're cleaner. They're cleaner.
Absolutely.
But no, so I got caught wind of your channel because my cousin and I, he loves to cook like you do. So we were like, I wanted to do something. This was even before this got rolling with video and everything too. So
it was in the backyard.
Yeah, we started a cooking channel, and I'm like, well, I'm gonna do some research. So I start Googling stuff, you know, YouTube cooking channels and watching different people, and your videos start popping up. And I'm like, I like this guy. I like what he's doing. I like his recipes. He's kind of barbecue leaning, right? You do a lot of stuff, but I was getting a lot of barbecue, and that's what we wanted to do. We're big Smokey Joe Weber fans, the little Smokey Joe, get it rolling. And then I'm looking, and I'm like, in some of your videos, I'm like, those houses look, you know, kind of familiar to me. And each one I would watch, you would say something over and over again, that different things in different videos. I'm like, I think he's probably from somewhere close to me. I could tell the houses. I won't say the neighborhood. I don't want to put you on blast on the internet, but I knew the neighborhood. My aunt lives one street over from you.
Okay.
And so I'm going down her neighborhood one day, and I look over and I see all your gear. And I'm like, no way. I could see your sign and everything. And it blew me away. I was like, this is so weird that I'm doing research on a cooking channel, and one of the ones I'm into the most,
right down the street.
I could sprint to your house, and I can't run far. You know what I'm saying? That's how close you were to me at the time. And it's still not far now, but I thought that was pretty cool, man. So what is your favorite thing, like genre to cook? Is it all things?
I would say what I was raised around, which is a lot of seafood.
Yeah.
Even though I'm Smokey Ribs barbecue, I have to venture out of that because, face it, there's only so much barbecue you can do.
That's
know?
right. That's right.
And to this day, if you go look at my top 10 videos, 5 or 6 of them are boil related, mainly crawfish.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a hot topic.
It is.
And I saw, what was the one you did the other day was blue crab versus you were steaming crabs or blue crab, something like that.
Oh, that was on my Smokey Ribs Facebook.
Yeah.
Okay, that is something. I'm actually with a company that is taking my content from YouTube and they're controlling my Facebook page.
Okay.
They're taking my older content, converting it into shorter
form
type videos.
Absolutely.
And kind of remarketing those videos. Some of them are old. You know?
Yeah. Yeah, that's smart though. I do also a lot of like reading about how to, get our numbers up, get more engagements, more stuff, and that's absolutely correct. Short form, they call it micro content. We take every episode we do, whether they average an hour and a half usually, Joey, and we cut 3 to 4 minutes of the best, a good run of 4 minutes, and put it out there the same way as what they're doing with your older content.
And I just recently, I'm talking about actually Brian Ducharme.
Yeah.
Mentioned him earlier. He's really into TikTok. I'm like, TikTok, man, I just haven't went there yet, And anyway, I got to looking at his videos. So I was playing around one day in my editor and I shortened that video way up to where you get the gist. It takes the human mind about a second to understand what's going on. And I chopped it down to like 25 seconds or something. And it was my first time playing with TikTok. They let you put whatever music on there. I'm like, well, this is cool.
Yeah.
And then from there, I shared it to Instagram.
Yep.
And now I'm actually posting on my personal Facebook because I went public with it. And I had one video, I think it was the second one I'd done. It's got like 17,000 views on my personal page.
That's crazy.
Yeah. But all of it's designed to kind of get people over to YouTube. That's
your bread and butter.
Yeah.
So I don't mean anything by this, but shipyard guy, older fella, how did you get in touch with that technology where it seems like I'm not saying old in a bad way, just the older generations usually don't even, I don't even want to use a cell phone. I don't want to use the internet.
And you just mentioned it too. Like he's diving into TikTok now. I know people that are younger than me. They're like, TikTok's for, teenagers. And I'm like, whatever, dude. Okay, cool. Good for you. Get left behind,
Well, that's exactly right. I'm saying, if you can't beat them, join them type attitude, So, hey, it's out there. Take advantage of it,
So it's a lot of yours trial and error. You just dove in and
I was actually playing around with website design and all of that way before YouTube. And so I have lived behind a computer screen when I wasn't at work for many years. And cell phones, I've owned them for as long as they've been around.
Right.
So that explains the technical end of it. And Final Cut Pro, the editing software I use, I've been using that for 8 years and I'm still learning things.
So you're a tinkerer. You tinker. I like that.
Yeah,
I like that.
I do.
And you like the digital aspect of it, obviously, right? Yeah, that's cool. I don't know if you mentioned it, but did you do that at the shipyard? Anything?
No, I was a pipe welder. I was a pipe welder first, and then I was a pipe welding foreman for the last 10 years that I was there. So,
okay, that's
not even related.
Right. My dad's a welder.
Okay.
Yeah, so I can respect that. That's a tough work and high demand. High demand.
It's hot, right?
Highly in demand right
That's what led me to try the things. I'm like,
I gotta get out of this.
I said, this all right, but I really like doing this.
Yeah. That's a theme that we talk about a lot on this show, though, is people that have a job, for whatever reason, and then have a passion. And some do both, and then some transition, like Matt Crittenden. Great segue for a cut above that we're sipping on here. Text Joey back, please, Matt. He was an attorney, and he was like, went through law school and everything, and was like, look, this ain't exactly what I want to do. And he started his own distillery, and his attorney law school education helped him out a lot getting that up off the ground, right? But he's doing what he loves now. So you were kind of in both worlds, right?
Right. And even like way before YouTube, when I was playing around with website design, there Flash was a big thing. The thing they call Flash, and I got to where I could edit and that really good, and do all kind of stuff.
And then it changes.
Yeah. And all that's obsolete now.
Yeah, they don't even carry it anymore.
No,
it's done.
Most platforms won't even react to it. Yeah.
Yeah. I just had to, while we were talking here, I had to edit it. I just realized there's no E in Smokey on your channel.
No.
I like that. I had the
And
E, so I took it down.
I took it down for that. And most people misspell it. They put the E in there like Smokey Robinson, like a name.
Yeah.
And I'm Smokey, like, man, his room is smoky.
Yeah. And
These
see,
are
I can't spell
Smokey
regular
Ribs.
words, much less know the difference.
Yeah.
I actually Googled that before I named my channel to make sure I was doing it right.
Yeah.
And everybody gets it wrong.
Yeah,
you know?
I did. But I fixed it. So that works. That works.
So was the dream always at your house filming all this stuff? Was that always what it was supposed to be?
Yeah, pretty much. You know, now I'm shooting over in Mobile at my son's place because while we were shooting, he's fixing up his back porch, you know, and he's putting walls up and he's got it looking almost like a cabin.
It does. Know? I thought that was at your house. And I heard you mention it in a video that you were doing some Mobile stuff, but I didn't realize that was his house.
I have little by little gotten all of my smokers over there. Matter of fact, the last two just went over there late last week or early this week. I forgot. But it's just, it looks better over there. We don't have to fight with sun.
Yeah.
And everything about it just, you know, I like the ambience of it and everything. So it's 45-minute drive from my house to his house. That's not bad.
No,
not at
that's
all.
not bad. Well, with the tunnel knocked out now, it might be, you got to go through a tunnel?
No.
Oh, okay.
This is like West Mobile County.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I didn't know the tunnel was out.
Tunnel's out. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
It's only one way.
Ish.
Yeah.
Well, what about like going back to like the beginning? Let's see here. Okay, so Robert Culbertson. Oh, do you know Robert Culbertson?
That name sounds very
He said Russ makes great vids and food. I know when I drive down a certain road, I can smell when Russ is cooking. We do?
Yeah.
Okay.
You don't remember working with him for the Beverage?
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. Yep. You got to jog my memory.
Yeah.
I forgot where I was going with this. Oh, no, so you tinkered with Flash websites and stuff like that, and then you're going to try to do the man cave stuff, then roll into like you found a cooking forum. Is that what you said, or a website that was online?
I found YouTube.
Oh, it was okay.
I knew about YouTube, but I didn't know that there were people cooking and making cooking videos, mainly barbecue related. And I'm like, I'm looking at this, and I'm like, man, I could do this. So all I had was an iPhone 4, which was a piece of junk by today's
standard.
Yeah. And so that was my audio and my video. I cringe going back and watching some of these early videos. But
mine are the same way.
We do the same way.
I leave them just to show
You
myself.
have to. You have, and the people watching too.
Right. How far I've came, you know.
Yeah.
And the equipment's gotten better over the years, of course, audio, all that.
Now,
you know?
When you were doing this, was your growth organic, or did you also read up on how to get your message out?
It was, I tell you what, from day one, it seemed like my view to subscriber ratio was always a bit higher than your average person for some reason. People were taken to it, and I couldn't understand why.
Oh, I know
and
why.
So I had like some pretty fast growth.
Yeah.
Now YouTube's changed, and I'm constantly getting subscribers, but my views are actually lower than what they were 5 years ago.
Yes,
out on average,
and that's because there's more people doing it.
Oh,
now.
a lot.
That's
more
100% why. Tons more competition,
and it just, man, it's a battle now to, you know, and these people just starting out. Well, they got a long road ahead of them. There's a few that really break out right off the bat, like Chud's Barbecue out of Austin. He's really making waves right now, you know. And there's a few other channels. Guga Foods, you know, he started, man, he just went straight to the top.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah. But those guys may have people helping them as far as like production.
Guga does. He has a whole team.
There you go. There you go. That's the game.
He's not shooting in his backyard.
No.
With an iPhone 4, huh?
No, he's not. That's right.
But neither is Russ anymore.
Yeah, that's right.
He stepped his game up too. But you're right. So TikTok is the new is YouTube 2011, right? Or 12, whatever.
Yeah.
There's a greater demand than there is supply, so not as many people are on there yet, even though there are a ton. But the philosophy's different on TikTok. It's quick. It's like entertaining a goldfish, you know what I mean? It ain't long format like you're doing on YouTube. But if you go back and re-edit and put it out there, have you seen, has it been working?
Well, like I said, I've only been doing it 3 weeks.
Okay.
I'm getting pretty good response. I'm actually getting better, which I've had Instagram for years, but it's always just putting a picture of a cook I just did, just trying to get people over there to watch the video. Now I'm actually doing the little reels from that video.
Correct.
And I'm getting a lot more response from that. And just so you know, I started a new YouTube channel that is designed to do the same thing. I'm putting shorts on there from that video. And I've also got a playlist from my bigger, my full length videos, but I'm going to be doing live feeds, vlogs, blooper reels, just put content that I would normally wouldn't put on my channel. Trying to drive people, like everything's centered around YouTube.
Well, the thing is, I guess with the kids and people in this day and age, it's short, quick. I want to see what you want to do right now. I don't want to sit there to the whole thing.
It's
so that's what TikTok. Yeah,
the attention span.
To me,
memory of
like when I want to watch that mullet video, I want to watch the whole. I want to watch the whole process. But I'm a different.
The older people
breed,
are like that, but man, attention span on the younger generation. I'm able to look at my analytics on my YouTube videos, and it doesn't matter how good this video is, how short it is. If I did a 1 minute video, it would get 50% retention. Nobody's got enough patience to watch a minute.
1 minute.
If I do 10 minutes, they're going to watch 5 minutes of it.
Right.
What they do is they skip through it.
Right.
A big majority does. It registers as a view, but it's like, God, what is wrong?
They can't do it. They can't sit there and do it. There's something else they can be doing.
You're gonna have your hardcore fans, fans of you, fans of whatever you're talking about. Like if I'm new to briskets, I'm going to watch your whole brisket video because I need to know about all of it, right? But sometimes whether social media, YouTube included, it's like eating potato chips. Like you're just like, what's the next thing? Like, give me another one, give me another one, give me another one. You may not be deep diving into everything you're doing.
TikTok, like one.
That's exactly what it is.
Just as soon as you as fast as you can roll your thumb, there's another video.
Yes. Yeah.
And I'm sure that rings up as a view, even though you don't want to watch it.
It does. It does. Their view count time wise is a lot lower. Like I think on YouTube is 30 seconds. If I remember correctly, I know Facebook is 3 seconds.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a difference there.
Yeah.
See, I'm the type of guy that pulls my phone out in the middle of Academy and looks at the reviews on something before I buy that. So when I started getting into smoking, like I got a pit barrel and stuff, I'm deep diving, like scuba diving into should I wrap, what temperature, what smoke,
So you're gonna be the long guy, the one that watches all of it.
Who's gonna watch the whole thing, right?
And I do too. Matter of fact, I'll look for longer videos a lot of times because right behind my computer desk, I've got a sofa, and a lot of times I just want to put on a 30-minute video, put it on widescreen, move my chair out of the way, and I'm just going to sit here and watch it just like I would a TV show or a movie or anything else.
Yeah.
I prefer that. But,
I've heard people describe it. It's not my way to explain it, but like, think about like you as a person, you're a different personality when you're say at work versus if you're at a wedding or if you're at a different event or if you're at the bar drinking or when you're hanging out with your good buddies, right? You act a different way. You consume content the same way. The way you may watch YouTube is different than the way you're looking for a different thing. Right. And TikTok is the worst of the worst.
No.
It's just next video. Right. It's the worst of the worst.
Well,
it kind of gets to know your pattern after a while. It'll throw you stuff you want to watch, but not completely. You still got to go through all the all the other stuff.
Yeah. Their algorithm on TikTok is different too. I read about that. It's it knows more what you like versus what you subscribe to. I think if I'm saying that the correct way,
possibly.
Yeah. But anyway, I don't know. One topic we haven't touched on that you just kind of mentioned a little bit too, that I wanted to ask you is, all right. So, pellet smokers versus offset smokers,
stick smokers
versus like what's the best?
Okay.
This is a big topic in the YouTube or in the really barbecue community, right?
It is. Me personally, I think you can't beat an offset smoker as far as that true barbecue flavor that only comes from burning wood.
Okay.
Wood only, not charcoal and wood, just wood.
Right.
And it's different. Now, the other is good. Don't get me wrong. I have cooked with a charcoal wood combination for many years. I still do it. But I prefer the flavor of an offset. Now, with that said, I just recently last fall got the LSG pellet grill that was designed to cook like an offset smoker. No other pellet grill smokes like this thing.
What's the difference in it? Because I've got a pellet smoker.
It's constantly giving it just you'll hear them clinking in
Yeah.
the pellets.
Yeah.
It's constantly getting smoke.
Okay.
And still holding temperatures at the same time. You know how most pellet smokers, they'll smoke for a little bit, all of a sudden you won't see no
Yes,
smoke.
that's how mine does. Yep.
Then they smoke, then they don't.
Yes.
This is constantly smoking. Even at 325, 350, most of them won't smoke at all.
Right.
This one's chugging along like
Burning
a
up.
choo-choo
What?
train.
Say that again. The brand?
Lone Star Grills.
Yep.
Pellet grills.
Okay.
They're not cheap. I can tell you that now.
Ain't none of them cheap.
No,
That's good.
But
I like
this thing
that.
is built to last. The chamber, the lid, everything is 3/16. That's just a little under 1/4 inch thick.
Yeah.
That's some
No
good
other
stuff.
pellet grills has
Yeah.
that thickness.
Yeah.
You know?
This is like, would you call it like competition style? Like, in other words, built to last.
It's built to last.
Yeah.
When those other had been turned into tin cans down the road,
Recycled.
This thing will still be trudging
Yeah.
along,
They must have like a different auger setting or something. Like,
the auger is only about that long, and it's open core. It looks like a big spiral. Oop,
that's okay.
it's
Yeah.
like a big spiral. In other words, it's not solid like most of them, so therefore it's not going to jam.
Okay.
And it's very short.
Okay.
You know how you have to prime most pellet grills?
Yes.
Well, this one you just fill up your hopper and you turn it on.
Yeah.
I mean, them pellets are that
Well,
close.
that's what Jared we were talking about earlier. Like it goes straight down, and then you got the rest of the.
Well, that's the bin. He's
Pellets
talking
on
about
the
the
side.
auger, but
Yeah.
yeah, the bin. A lot
Yeah.
of times it'll create a situation where the auger gets empty, but there's pellets around the outside of the bin,
Yeah.
right? It like sand dunes in or
This
something.
one is shaped just like that. I mean,
As it should be.
It's not like it's just like this.
Yeah, it should
And
have like a V to it.
It's gonna fall. You
Right.
know?
Yeah. I hated. I'm gonna say hated. It took me a little bit of time to get used to it. Everybody was like, "Oh, pellet smokers that you get made fun of. It's not an offset. What are you, a girl or something like that?" No offense, ladies. And but it's like set it and forget it. And I'm like, okay, well, that's exactly what I did. There's still a little bit you got to tinker with it and you got to know, and they can flame out if you set the smoke setting too high on them.
Mhm.
You got to kind of pay attention. And then that, like I just mentioned, with the auger getting emptied, even though you still have the pellets, that can be an issue too. So now that I've done it a few times, but I guess you could agree to this. Barbecuing, especially when you do like briskets and stuff, that's a trial and error thing. You can't just read about it and get it completely right the first time if you've never done it.
Right. Yeah. It takes knowing, researching a little bit and having an idea. And once you kind of know that, there's really nothing to it. I did a brisket flat Tuesday along with another. I made alligator sausage for another channel that will air in October. And then once he airs it, then I can release it on my channel.
Okay. What's up, Blake? In the comments, man. Good to see you jumping in there.
And every cooker is different. Like if you got ugly, is that an ugly drum you got?
I have that's a generic name. It's a gateway drum,
right?
And
so
I love it.
Yeah,
man.
you smoke a brisket on that to a pellet grill. It's a different.
Yeah,
cook,
it is
all different.
And I can tell you now that them drum smokers do a really good job.
Yes,
absolutely.
That is your charcoal wood combination, and it's just a beautiful flavor, you know. But as far as my favorite is offset, but like I said, I'm no stranger to all of them, and I'm not going to put any of them down because they all do a really good job,
right? And it's fun to kind of mix it up too.
Yeah,
do it different. Now, them offsets, I've never done it myself. I've got friends that do it and watch them do it. It's a little more labor intensive though, right? To keep your fire going. And then what about managing heat? Is that something you got to get to know you got to
get to know your smoker? And it took me about 3 cooks to understand really how to dial mine in. My pit loves 250 degrees, which is a good thing. That's a good solid
low and slow.
Yeah.
And I don't adjust the top vent or the lower vent. I adjust the heat or the temperature by the size of the fire.
Okay. So
which isn't much. I'll start the pit with a 1.5. Well, first I'll put like a small bed of charcoal briquettes just to get the logs going. I'll put a 1.5, and I'll leave that in there about 45 minutes. It's up to temp. All the still's good and hot. Then I'm gonna have to feed it about a split every 45 minutes to an hour. Time of the year plays in it too. Right now, as hot as it is outside,
you don't need much.
And if your sun's hitting it, I mean, you're already up to 140 degrees without any
fire. Yeah,
you could
ambient temperatures 130. Well, 100.
You cook a brisket in your mailbox. Pretty much.
So all you got to do is come up with another 100 degrees and just a small fire. Do that. You know.
What wood are you? What's your favorite? Pecan guy, oak guy? What are you?
We do a little bit of all of it, but My favorite personally is hickory and pecan mix. Heavier on the pecan, some hickory, which pecan is related to hickory. It's a type of hickory, but it's not quite as strong. But something about an offset, and it kind of goes against what you would think. Even though it's pure wood, you think it'd be so heavy and smoke you wouldn't be able to eat it. Nothing could be further from the truth. Matter of fact, sometimes it's like, man, I could have used a little bit more smoke. In a case like that, you would damper it down a little bit just to where it ain't burning quite as hot. And I could look at my stack and tell. Some people say that clear blue smoke.
Yes.
That's great.
Yeah.
You're not going to mess it up, but I want to see a little bit of smoke, very little. I just don't want that heavy billowing smoke.
The big white cloud smoke is bad, right? People that ain't in the barbecue scene, like, listen up to us, because I didn't know that. You would think, all right, I'm smoking something, I want it to look like smoke, a cumulus cloud or something. That ain't the case.
No, it's not. You get more of an acrid taste if you'll know it when you over smoke something.
Yeah,
you're like, oh boy, that's
too smoky.
Now,
it's funny you brought up hickory, because that's what my grandpa we'd go to the woods, get hickory nutshells, break them up, take the holes, everything the same way.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like a lost art. Like, we would go in the woods and look for hickory trees and find the nuts and everything else. So,
I like taking those nuts when I'm grilling something and just put those nuts on my charcoal, like a steak or whatever.
Right.
It infuses a really nice flavor into it.
Yeah.
And I haven't had any in a long time.
They're hard to come by.
Yeah, I used to know a guy, and he give me a sack full of them. Like, ooh, boy.
I'm gonna flash on the screen for the people watching live. It'll be on that screen up there in just a second. It's a bit of a delay, Russ. This is a brisket I got off of your Facebook page. That smoke ring on that bad boy is aggressive. There you go. You can see it right over there. Can you tell from the photo when that was, or do you remember? I know you probably done 10,000 briskets, but
that was probably around a year and a half, maybe 2 years ago.
Okay.
That was actually done on a master-built gravity-fed smoker that I had at the time.
Okay. That's a smoke ring on there. Ladies and gentlemen, on the audio side of things, when you're listening to the podcast, jump over to Facebook and just type in Smokey Ribs, Smokey without an E in it, and you can see these photos. I got a picture here now of some ribs. Again, Russell, will be a delay on that screen. It's a few seconds.
Okay.
But these things, they look magnificent. You're chopping them up. I'm assuming that's ribs. Now, hold on a minute. That might actually be a pork loin.
That is pork.
Yep.
Pork brisket.
Oh.
Okay. Talk to me about that.
I did that last summer.
Joey, do you know anything about a pork brisket?
It's actually the brisket of a pig.
Okay.
Yeah. And the same section they would take it off of a cow, they take it off of a pig. And you talk about, that was excellent, man. I'll never forget that, because if you watch the video and see my expression, buddy, I ain't faking nothing. I've been like, holy crap. I said, Derek, you got to try this.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was super impressed with it.
All right. I like it.
Certain meat purveyors will, offer that.
Yeah.
Where do you like these cuts? You can't find them in your local grocery store. You got to go to a butcher, right? That's mainly where you get all your stuff.
Like specialty cuts and off cuts and things like that. And a lot of your online purveyors, that's where that came from. I work with different purveyors.
Okay.
And they ask me, what do I want? And, based on what kind of video I want to do, they'll send it to me.
I used to remember the one you mentioned in your videos a lot. Now I can't think of them.
Porter Road is where that came from.
Yeah, that ain't the one though. If you said it, I'd know it. Anyway,
there's one that he no longer is in business.
Okay.
That I used to deal with.
Yeah.
There's been a couple.
I think if I remember correctly, Joey, correct me if I'm wrong. We met you for the first time at the butcher on Tucker, right? I don't know if you remember that. You and your wife were there.
Yeah, or at the Latimer Community Center market is where we met y'all too, for that little Easter egg thing, something. I don't know where.
I remember at the butcher shop.
Definitely
I don't remember that.
Butcher shop. You gave my wife.
Oh,
yes, a hat.
To me.
Correct.
And I've just about wore that hat out. It's been on many videos.
It has, and it's funny because I'm going through. I think it was Facebook, and I'm scrolling through. Boom, you pop up. I'm like, oh, I'm watching this, and then you're cooking, so all I'm seeing is the food. Then it flashes to you, and you got the brown water hat on. And I told you, I said, why? Because we've talked about sending you a message thousands of times. Like, what are we doing? We haven't texted Rush yet. And I was like, I'm tired of saying it. I'm doing it. And I instantly, right when you got that message, I just sent him that photo, and that's how we got in contact. One of the things where you just keep kicking the can down the road for no reason.
Right.
So what's your favorite? If you had one thing to smoke for the rest of your life, what would it be?
as far as smoke goes?
That's a hard question, dude. That's like asking what's your favorite band?
That is a hard question, man. I'll be honest with you. You know, pulled pork is good and ribs are great and all that. But one of my favorite ways of doing barbecue is take like a chuck roast and make barbecue pulled beef sandwiches.
Really? All right, I'm listening. I'm all ears. Let's go.
I love pulled beef probably more than pulled pork. I mean, they're both great.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll take that and do it just like a pork butt, but use a chuck roast. And I always take one of my favorite barbecue sauces, which I don't do on ribs or anything else, but I actually mix that sauce in with it to where all you got to do is put it on 2 buns and eat it, you know?
Okay. Is that kind of like doing like a Mississippi pot roast? Is that the same thing or is that different?
It's
like
different.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've actually done that before too. I think I might have been one of the first ones that actually apply smoke to it because the original Mississippi pot roast wasn't smoked.
Yeah.
That's like
right,
a
it's
kitchen.
crock pot.
Yeah, crock pot.
Right,
We do them
crock
all the time.
pot.
Put them
Yeah.
on a pistolette with some mayonnaise, and you can't
it's
beat
good.
it. I
Yeah, it's
don't
good.
think
Yeah.
personally.
So I didn't want to do it when it was kind of like trending or whatever, because I don't like doing these trending videos because everybody and their brother is doing them. But somewhere down the line, I might do it, you know, or you know.
I got a couple of topics though I'm thinking here that I want to get to. One of them being, so we talked about you not like tinkering with websites, tinkering with the editing software, tinkering with YouTube and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
As the channel grew, like, I think we're out of ice, Joey. Sorry.
Son of a gun.
I know. You know where more's at, huh? Look, see, this is, get up and get it if you got to get it, right? As your channel grew, right? And then I don't know the marks that you probably remember in your mind, 50,000, 80,000, whatever it was. I know, is it 100 or 120 when you get the play button?
100,000.
100,000. Okay. What was, first of all, this isn't the original question. Well, what was that like when you hit that? Does YouTube like send you a message and say, hey, you hit 100,000 play buttons in the mail?
Actually, yeah, when you log into YouTube and you go into like your creator studio or whatever it's called,
familiar.
There's a banner up top says, congratulations, claim your play button.
Right.
And then you click on that and it takes you through all the prompts and everything. And then it's done. Then you wait on it.
Yeah.
And at the time they were doing a change up on how they looked. So I had to wait like 4 months before I ever got it. But it finally come in. The only thing I wish I could have got different, I didn't think about it at the time, but when I originally started that channel, Smokey Ribs was not available. Smokey Ribs Barbecue might have been, but I wasn't smart enough to think of that. I used to just call myself Smokey Ribs.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, okay, so I added a 1 to it, Smokey Ribs 1.
You're talking about for the button.
I'm talking about for my channel, period. You know, and I've got my own URL for it now, you know, but originally it was Smokey Ribs 1.
Okay.
And so when they printed that play button, it says Smokey Ribs 1.
That's okay. That's okay. I get it though. But as I pull it up now though, it says Smokey Ribs Barbecue.
Yeah, it does. I'm talking about on the URL where your address is.
Gotcha. Okay. So I got you. Okay. I'm with you now.
And so it was reading what it was originally called.
Okay.
You know?
So how did that feel though? I mean,
it felt great.
Yeah.
Man. It felt great. And I'll tell you what, I hit it like 97,000. And I don't know what happened. It's almost like somebody pulled a plug on it. It was a long crawl from 97 to 100.
Yeah.
And I had this one friend of mine. He lives out in Dallas, and he's like, man. He goes, "Are you ever gonna get there?" So I'm hoping, dude. Ain't nothing I can do. You know?
Yeah. I think Joey and I, we've been doing this now since 18, but on YouTube, I don't even know, 19, 20, something like that. Anyway, we're at 330, so we're super.
Yeah, we're close. We're almost catching.
We're real close. So we're catching. We just be on the lookout for us to show up. But the reason I asked that was though is like as that happens from starting it to hitting the 100 and 248, it looks like where you're at right now. Like I've seen you've done brokered deals or sponsorship deals. Do people just start messaging you like that, or did you actively go out searching or combination?
They contact you, and I'll turn down probably 90% of them.
Are they shady?
No, it's not that they're shady. A lot of it's just they want to send you something to try to sell on Amazon.
Right.
And I will take that if it's the right thing. You know what I'm saying? If it's something I really want or need, and if it's good quality.
Right.
Matter of fact, my next video, I'm using a swamp cooler made by Paris Ron, which is France. It's actually built in France. The company's been in business since 1915. I'm like, yes, I need one of those right now. It's hot down here.
Yeah.
So yeah, I did that one.
Yeah.
And but I like to get paid too. But
No
well,
doubt.
and you got to be careful because you don't want to put your name on something that's not
no, exactly
very
right.
good.
Yeah.
Right. And if it doesn't relate to cooking or something like that, my last video, it was actually for drinks. You know what I'm saying? Like drink mixers, like the
You made a drink video?
well, it's a sponsored ad right in the middle. If you watch my latest upload 2 days ago,
Okay.
there is a sponsorship for Shaker and Spoon.
Okay.
And they're a subscription service, and every month they send you a box, and each box to do 3 different drinks, four drinks out of each one. So it does 12 drinks, and they got different ones. One's for like bourbon, one could be gin, one could be rum.
All right.
And plus, what I liked about it, because I'm not really big into subscriptions, is you can go in there and just say, oh, I want to get that one. You can just order one time, be done with it. Or let's say there's this one bitter that you need, or one whatever, oil, syrups, whatever.
Right.
You can order just that. So, I said, yeah, that relates to my channel.
I like it.
It really does. So I did that one. That one paid too.
Yeah, the things that he wants some more. The things that stick out in my mind that I can remember that was on your channel, and we talk about this, Joey, a lot, is the bull boss, right? To cool down the crawfish, right? If I remember correctly. Is it frog bone? Am I remembering that right?
Yeah.
Wasn't that one of your spices that you?
That was frog bone Cajun sauces.
Okay,
that's how he started.
Yeah, I remember them. But all things that obviously relate to your channel. And Joey and I talk about it a lot. Just for us, we haven't got into like people reaching out crazy about sponsorships and stuff like that. But all the as far as products, I should say. But the sponsors that we do work with, we wouldn't work with somebody that we didn't believe in the product, whether whatever that product may be. Right? This is not going to happen.
No, that's me too.
Same for you.
Same thing.
Yeah, because it's your brand. It's on you.
So when I watch this, I watch on Mississippi Public Broadcasting. It's the guy
MPB.
who does the smoking. Have you ever watched him on here? Well, he's got like millions of dollars worth of grills, like every different kind of grill that you could possibly think of. And he's like, yeah, just throw it on here. And I'm like, well, I don't have that grill. Like, what else can I do? But they send him that stuff. Is that where you're at now? Like the grills and the smokers and stuff like that?
Some of them.
Do people do that stuff for you?
Lone Star Grills has sent me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different smokers or grills in the last 5 years. And that one was a hard one to ever get, was trying to talk, because this is not some place in China that is manufacturing and stamping things out. They actually have or I want to call it fabrication shops, where they hire people to cut and weld and actually build these
which
things,
you could speak
right
to
there in Texas. Yeah. And man, I did reach out because I wanted an offset. And finally I discovered Lone Star Grills. I'm like, all right, here goes. No, it was the last one. I was going to give up after that. So I sent a letter, and sure enough, he responded. But boy, he was, he wasn't sure about this, So finally he said, now, what if I were to build you a pit? He goes, how am I going to get it to you? He goes, man, these things weigh in at over 900 pounds.
Yeah, it's shipping costs for real on that.
Yeah, and I said, I'll come get it. It's just north of where my cousin lives. It's north of Houston. So me and Derek, man, we took off. Once he told me it was ready, picked it up. I met him and Chris Goodlander, and I brought it home. I did my first video, and then I launched my second video like a week later, and he emailed me and said, hey, that pit has already paid for itself.
Oh, wow.
And 6 months later, he's like, do you want a cabinet smoker? I'll send it. He did on 18-wheeler, Now I've had 2 Santa Marias since then. And
you proved it.
Yeah. But I opened his eyes to the power of YouTube.
Correct. Correct. Because you were in there early 2012. I like the young kids might be listening being like, what? But that 2012, it really was. It was just rolling like heavily. And the sponsorship side of it, like this guy, they didn't realize the power of it. I don't think yet. And like you just explained
they
that.
didn't. And
yeah.
It's a pretty good risk because it's not cheap to produce something like that, out of your own pocket.
Correct.
And he was taking a gamble, but I don't think he's ever regretted it.
No,
There can't.
I know he has. And those things live in perpetuity on the internet. They're there.
Yeah,
they're not going away.
24/7.
That's it.
I don't care how bad a video took off. somewhere down the line, you'll look back and like, wow, that's gotten some decent views. It didn't start off very good, but
Right.
over time, it's gotten quite a few views.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's right.
And you can go back and see how bad you were, and how bad the lighting was.
It's part of the growth. I'm like you though. I used to like that would bother me and be like, damn, I should take it down or something, you know?
Yeah.
But it's part of the process, man. It is.
And I'm gonna tell you, and this is for anybody that might be listening to this considering
Yeah.
YouTube, the way you build up a monthly income is not by having a viral video that just all of a sudden rakes in all this money. It's by building a library over time, and those constantly getting views. Might not be but a few views here and a few views there, but I think I got almost 400 videos on my channel.
Oh, I knew the number. It's right here. I just almost said it earlier. 390.
390. I know I was getting
390.
close.
Yep.
So that's 390 videos that has the potential to be viewed throughout any given month.
Correct.
And my money has slowly but surely went up all the way from beginning to now, and it'll continue to do that.
Correct.
The bigger the library, the more money. And as far as subs, that's great, you know, but it's just too bad that I don't get 248,000 views on every video that comes out.
Right.
Yeah.
You average about 15%. Now,
Yes.
it might not be the same 15%, but the average is out of all them subs, 15% will actually watch that video on any given video.
And when you say your money, do you mean the AdSense or the views that you like? In other words, money per views that you get directly from YouTube
through AdSense.
Yeah, AdSense. Right. Okay, yes, I did say right. Okay, that's what you're referring to.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You build that up through building a library. You know? And I quit worrying about subscriber base a long time ago. That's just kind of like bragging rights already.
Right.
And there's channels way, way, way bigger than what I am. I'm just now getting ready to hit 250,000 subs, you know, which is a lot better than what a lot of people do.
Absolutely.
Like us.
And I'm proud. I'm proud of it.
You should, and as you should be.
You got your own audience.
Yeah.
So everything you put out, hey, here's my own audience. You watch this.
Right.
And without getting into specific numbers, because that's not what I'm asking here, but you mentioned that you just retired. I mean, has that been... That's obviously supplemental to someone who just retired from a full-time job, right?
Big time, yeah. Matter of fact, I'm not even going after my Social Security until way later
because of this,
because of penalties and stuff like that. If I make too much income,
correct.
And so I'm not going to do that till I'm too old to make videos. All right, give me my money.
Yes, and see that I love to hear that. I love to hear that because people shit on the internet or the social media, and there's tons of reasons to do that. Right. But you're a great example right here in our hometown. I mean, we're a local deal here of someone who took advantage of it and it paid off, and it's helping you out positively in your life and in everybody else who watches your videos.
Sure,
you know.
And you think your son's going to pick it up and run with it? When you get out of it?
Possibly, but I don't.
Does he have dad's swagger though?
Yeah,
that's the thing. You know, I don't.
Does he?
I don't know if people will want to watch. And I'm not saying, I'm only saying it because they subscribe to me.
Right.
But I'm thinking if I put him in enough videos, they will get used to him.
That's correct.
You know, a lot of people will just.
And maybe you lose some, but maybe he gains some.
Yeah, maybe he gains his own audience.
Correct.
You're grooming him.
But it's come too far just to let it die on the wayside down the road, you know.
No, you can't do that.
And so it's totally in his hands, you know.
Yeah, but you still got a lot of years left.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
This is YouTube. You ain't out there bench pressing.
I'm not throwing in the towel yet, but eventually, man. I mean, I'm 63, so I started this.
You got at least 30 years left.
Oh yeah. And I was fit, man. I've been working out in the gym and everything. Now look at me. This is what happens when you start a cooking channel.
Hey,
yeah, but
never trust a skinny chef.
Never,
never trust a skinny chef.
Yeah, if you rolled in here shredded, I'd be like, I don't know, man. This dude.
I don't want to eat a brisket from a dude who's got a 6-pack.
Right. Robert Irvine is kind of jacked, and I think he cooks pretty well. I don't know. I've never eaten any of his food, but anyway.
I like watching him.
That made me think of another thing that I saw in your videos, and I see it on your arm right now. The tattoos. Now, Joey and I have a couple tattoos our own selves here. What I see the music note, like I'm gonna go on a limb here and say you're a fan of music.
Yeah, and you know, I did play the guitar like in my teen years, and I ended up trading all that in for some scuba equipment. I was a lot better scuba diver than I was.
You're a diver,
okay.
But I love music, you know. But I'll be honest with you, the reason I got this, I was a welder, and I had a lot of scars on this arm from welding. I still have a few over here.
A little slag coming
back
at you?
Oh, man, just a lot of times fire, welding in short sleeves or burning through your sleeve, whatever the case may be. And so I had a bright idea, so I'm going to get a sleeve done, you know. And I did, and it covered the scars, but...
You made a video about that, didn't you? Did somebody, was some people giving you some grief online, if I remember right.
Oh, I've had people say, "Oh, those prison tats."
Yes.
And
See, I didn't want
like
to say because I couldn't remember because I see a lot of stuff and I don't want to like misquote. It was a different channel, but yeah. And I remember you saying it. I'm like, what idiot on the internet? Which I don't know why I'm surprised. But like, why would they say that? You know, those are well done tattoos. They look great, and it's like
prison.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm like, yes, they are. Go to hell.
YouTube has a thing called block words that you can go into your settings and you can add words. If this person says that word,
right,
they get pulled off to the side until I can review the comment. And so, needless to say, that list is long.
Oh,
and
I
people
bet.
constantly give me new ideas. Oh, I need to add that to my block words, you know. But yeah, it's just, I don't care if somebody criticizes the food or whatever, but when they attack me directly, that's a different story.
That's a little much.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So
there's just haters on the internet.
It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Nah.
Well, that's the world we live in. But
yeah.
What I mean, other than, you know, the growth of the channel is great. I know that feels good. Like, what is something that you found in your life personally or through your cook? I mean, I'm assuming your cooking game's probably got a lot better, right?
Oh yeah.
Like,
I mean,
what is something that
learning
that came out of the channel that you're like, I didn't expect this to happen and it did? Maybe you got closer to your son. I don't know, like spending time together doing that kind of thing.
Yeah. Which we've always been pretty close. I got two sons, and the other one, I used to take the oldest one, Derek. He used to go hunting and fishing with me all through his years. And the other one, he wanted to stay at home and play Nintendo with his friends.
Now he's making all the money.
Yeah. So, you know, we've always been pretty close anyway. So this is only a natural thing to happen, really, that he gets involved with it.
Right.
You know?
Right.
It's got to be cool though, having your kid on there.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it is. And he enjoys it. Sometimes he don't want to be on there. You know, I get it. He just, for whatever reason.
Does he have a like a video background or communicate anything like that? Or
he actually can edit pretty good because he had this sailboat down here at the Schooner Pier.
I remember seeing your videos on that.
And he sailed that single-handed all the way down to Clearwater, Florida.
Yeah.
And then he was gone a month, and he shot videos. And if you're ever interested, he never grew the channel very big, but it's called Coastal Boy.
Okay.
And he's got that whole trip on there.
GoPros, I'm guessing.
Yeah, GoPro. I think it was GoPro.
I'm gonna flash him on the screen here. It's a picture of y'all in your driveway, I do believe, with a camera and the, what did you say the barrel was?
The ugly drone.
Right there. Right there. Can you?
Yep, that's the Gateway. And I think he was doing smoked cream cheese on that kettle grill.
Yeah,
that was last year. That wasn't that long ago.
Okay, okay. I like it.
Man, smoking is another animal, and I've always said, like, you look up cook temps and times, stuff like that. Whatever it is, give yourself another 2 hours on top of it.
Oh, absolutely.
That's
because you can't.
Real.
If you, I'm not very good at smoking, but I've got into it a little.
It's fun.
Harder than that. But you can't do it. Like, if I'm going to eat at 5:30, you can't start it at 2 o'clock.
No.
You got to have at least 6 to 8, maybe 10
and
good
really
hours.
Really depend on what it is. And this really shocked my son because what I did Tuesday, in addition to the sausage, was that little brisket flat. I mean, it was little. And I did run it at 225 real low because I had this sausage that had a smoke. I knew that was going to take 10 to 12 hours to finish, start to finish. And so we put it on 225 and just let it go. And that thing, he said, oh, that'd be ready in 6 hours. I'm like, okay.
Good luck.
And it was more like 10 hours, 10, 11 hours. And finally, I wrapped it in butcher paper and I ramped it up some and finished it. And man, that thing was just... you'll see the video next week if you watch it. It amazed me because that brisket flat was just as juicy and tender as what the point would normally be.
Yeah,
that's hard to do. I've never done that.
I've
never done that.
I don't think I've ever smoked anything that was over smoked time wise. So when I do briskets, you 8-10 hours.
Yeah,
like, you could always go more. Like people try to get in a rush. You know what I'm saying? It's like, hey, I got to do this tomorrow. Let me start it at 6 o'clock.
You're not going to over smoke it like on a pellet grill or really anything as long as you overload it with like, you know, charcoal wood combination. Those kind of pits like that kettle grill he just showed, you can over smoke in something like that quicker than you can anything when you have your charcoal and you go laying those chunks on there just to provide some smoke. because the wood is not on fire. It's
Right.
more or less
Smoldering.
smoldering.
Yeah.
Right.
So if you overdo that, you'll know it.
Do you soak your wood?
No, absolutely not.
So put it in a dry. That's a big thing, right? Do you soak your wood? Do you not soak your wood?
No, I don't. No. No, that water doesn't penetrate. If you can run an experiment, take you a wood chunk and put it in some water for a day and then pull it out. You'll see that water's penetrated maybe a 16th. It evaporates rapidly. So
as soon as you catch it on
then
fire,
it's going to be putting that acrid smoke out because it's smoldering kind of until it gets blazing,
Is there, I read too, Joey's going over some good stuff. Is there a certain temperature, internal meat temperature, that the meat will no longer accept smoke? Is that true to that? Ain't true to that?
There is a lot of belief that says 3 hours and it's not absorbing any more smoke.
Right.
I personally say that as long as it's in that pit and smoke is coming by it, smoke's building on it, but not to the point of being over smoked. I think the majority of it does get on there in the first 3 hours, and there's thought that the colder the meat when it goes on, the more smoke it will adhere. And
oh, really?
Like
well, I've never heard that.
Room temperature.
Yeah. Because that way it won't cook unevenly.
Well, a steak would be room temperature, because you want to go for a medium rare, and if it's cold in the center and you seared it, the middle's still raw.
Okay.
So you do need to bring a steak, but we're talking about a brisket.
Yeah,
but it's going to eventually get there anyway.
Okay.
It's not like a steak where you trying to nail a perfect doneness.
Okay, because this is a good takeaway for me personally. So you're telling me I can pull my brisket straight out of the refrigerator and put it on there, and I don't really have to worry about that?
You could, and I would suggest doing your rub the night before to where the salt has time to penetrate.
Yeah. I never do that. Okay.
That's
what I do. I usually
dry brine.
I put them in a
dry brine. Okay.
Pan, and then, but I've always heard pull them out maybe an hour before.
Yeah, no, you don't have to on those kind of cuts of meat that you're going to cook until those are tough cuts of meat. And your object here is to get them to where they probe real tender, but not mushy.
Right.
There's a fine line of that's what I was going to say earlier. You don't necessarily over smoke meat, but you can definitely overcook meat to where it turns to mush.
We've had
to have a nice texture, but yet tender.
We had this conversation the other day, which I mean, this isn't new to people in the barbecue community, but like just for instance on ribs, right?
Yeah.
Fall off the bone. That ain't really what you want. I mean, now granted, it still tastes great and it's really good, but it kind of loses the appeal of what a rib is, right?
The texture changes.
Yeah, you want to like bite and pull a rib off of the rib, especially in competition, right?
Nice texture, but not chewy. You want it tender, but like competition. And that's really kind of comes down to your own personal preference. Some people like them falling off the bone, just mush. I don't. I want a little bit of texture.
I want to chew on something.
Yeah. Robert in the comments, man, thanks for chiming in so much. We appreciate it. He says the colder the meat, the lower the cook temp. The colder the meat and the lower the cook temp, it'll create that chemical reaction in the meat that makes the smoke ring.
Right.
That's a big takeaway for me because I did not realize that about keeping it cold. I thought that it needed to be room temperature. And if you think about it scientifically, God knows how long a brisket would take to get room temp in the center.
Now that would
even if you let it out
to a steak, and that's only because you want something at a warmer center or core.
Correct.
And you put it on there to where, like I said, and I guess on a reverse sear, even that it's not real critical because you're bringing it up slowly, to get your center to a certain temperature. Then you sear it, or you can even do a front sear it, and then pull it off over here to the indirect side. Yeah. But it's usually best to let the meat come up to room temperature, a steak.
Okay.
But not on barbecue meat.
Okay. I love it. I did not know that. So I'm gonna file that away in the old cabinet.
All of it.
Yeah.
That's what smoking is, barbecue is. It's all trial and error.
It is.
And everybody's pit's different, everybody's grill's different. You just got to really go out there and do it, but you got to take the internet so you don't screw it up.
Yes.
Right.
Briskets ain't cheap.
No,
they are not.
Especially
they are
nowadays, man.
Yeah. One thing I want to say, because I've thought about it a couple times and it keeps leaving me, but we've mentioned about the barbecues in the name of the channel and all this stuff, but you do a lot. You said seafood too, but you do sauces, you do smoked cheese. I mean, you're a cooking channel. It ain't just barbecue.
Right. It is. And in hindsight, I look at my channel now and I'm like, what was I thinking, man?
Because you evolved.
Yeah.
You evolved.
I wouldn't change it now for nothing. There's no way I would do that. But there were so many better choices out there back then.
I get what you're saying because you're on the the inside looking out, I guess, but we're on the outside looking in, and it works. Your logo's great. And I even watched your video when you got the intro music done.
Okay.
Which is amazing. Yeah, that's killer. Give us a little tidbit on that story.
All right, Chad Parker, he is he actually works at the shipyard, or did. I reckon he still works there, and he's in the non-destructive testing department. And that's a department where they either go out and PT a weld, liquid dye penetrant, or X-ray, or they just tell you if the weld's good or not.
Right.
You know. And I knew him, and I'm at work one day. I think, I was a foreman, and he said, "Hey, man, how's your channel going?" I said, "It's going good." You know, he goes, "I got an offer for you." He goes, "If you shoot a music video for me," because he writes music and he plays music, he said, "I can write you a jingle for your intro." I said, "That's a deal, man."
Absolutely.
Okay.
And I don't
had
know
you heard his music at the time?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
And I don't know if he left work early or whatever, but I had no more than walked in the house. I had this email. He said, "Hey, this is a trial run. What do you think about this?"
It's great. No, it's perfect.
It's awesome.
Oh man. I said, "That's it." I said, I was thinking it run a little long because I wanted something like 20 seconds. And this thing run like 40 seconds. I'm like, but I like it. You know?
Let's cut it. Yeah.
And he's tied in with some of the guys up in Nashville.
Okay.
And so he said, "Look, it's going to cost you a little bit of money." He goes, "But there's studio musicians in Nashville that can lay these tracks down." And to find out, I can't remember now who was who, but it was like guitar player from Montgomery Gentry. It had a bass player from like Gary Allen.
Really?
Every one of them were from known bands.
And so what he sent you was just a guitar track with nothing else that he had played?
That he had played.
But it wasn't like audio quality.
What
wasn't
you're
super
hearing
great.
now, and now I've kind of lost the one with the lyrics because it runs too long. What I'm doing now is, if you watch
instrumental only,
just the acoustic,
and that's just the first few seconds. I'm actually showing him playing guitar on the last two videos.
Okay.
Bump, bump, bump. And he did that when I actually shot his music videos. Finally, we got together when he found a place to do it.
Your debt has been paid.
Yeah. And so he was just sitting there. He said, "You still using that intro?" I said, "Yeah, man,
oh, it's great. No, it's great."
And this couple of years ago, he goes, "How did that go?" So I played it on my phone, and he's sitting there, dun, dun. So I'm recording it. I'm like, "That'd be cool. Put that in the intro." He was right on time with it too, you know.
I love that. See, I didn't know that. I'm writing that down. I'm gonna micro clip that right there. That's what I'm writing down this these times. I didn't know that about that song. I didn't know that you had to ship that off and have some real like studio musicians record that. That's great.
Yeah, and then once they got through with it, they sent it back to him. He laid his vocals on top of that, and that was the theme song.
That's great. That's great. Awesome. And to me, like, that fits right in our wheelhouse with everything we love to promote on this show, local and everything. Even though, you know, we want as wide of an audience as we can get. That's a way cooler story than if you told me that you just like subbed it out to Fiverr on the internet, or you know, you hired a company that blah blah blah. That I'd be like, I still like the song, but that's a way cooler story.
Yeah, it is. There's a story behind it. That's what I like about it. You know,
old Ingloids.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man.
There's actually a band called the Ingloids. I don't know if you know that
I've
or not.
Heard of that before.
They're really good too. They're heavy, all bass players, but it's really good.
Yeah,
really good.
I have heard of them.
Yeah, they're good. So I get it. You're enjoying retirement.
Oh yeah,
not missing the Monday through Friday too much.
No, sir.
So where's the channel going from here?
Yeah.
I'm just, like I said, I'm doing the other short form content now, just trying to grow that channel. I don't see no major changes with it, you know, as far as what I'm doing currently. I don't know how I could really, other than just try to get more and more people over there.
Yeah. The only thing that comes to mind when I hear you say that is like, why not just take the short form clips and just make that a playlist on your regular channel? Because you've already got the subscriber count there, right? Why grow another plant when you can just attach it to that?
I don't know. It's something to do with me. I guess because I don't want the algorithm, because shorts are not going to do well for me right off the bat.
Okay.
And algorithm, that's one reason I don't do many live feeds, because they can't get as many views, or they don't get as many views as a regular video. So YouTube says, well, that video didn't do good, and it affects the algorithm over the next 2 or 3 videos that I do put out.
Okay. I can respect that. See, I didn't realize that or think about that.
I'd rather just put it on its own platform.
Yep.
And then I'm going to mention it and have a link in all my future videos to where anybody that wants to sub can go over there if they are into that kind of content.
Smart.
Yeah.
Very
so
smart.
Are you jumping into new stuff? Because, I mean, you say you can only smoke a brisket so many ways. Are you jumping into different cheeses? vegetables. I mean, what?
Man, that's a week to week decision with me. You know, it changes. A lot of times I don't even know what I'm doing to the day before. Like, oh Lord, I got to think of something. You know, I got to think of something. I've got the notes in my phone, and every time I think of something, I put it in notes.
Yes,
right.
Smart.
And
that's a good question.
Let me see what I got in here. You know, I said, well, we could do that maybe. But I kind of already know from doing this what's going to do better than others. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And sometimes you're surprised. It's just like, wow, I expected that to do
terrible.
Nothing.
We've had that happen.
Yeah.
For us. Yeah. And another thing too, with a lot of guys that I know that make lots of videos, got lots of views and stuff, they say if you do it once, like in other words, and I'm sure you know this, like a brisket, right? Well, you don't have to just make one brisket video. You can literally do it 40 times and it's 40 different videos, whether it's 40 ways, different ways or not.
Yeah.
Just keep doing it.
And
if it works.
I want to revisit some older videos. And I've tried that one time on some red beans. And it was like, do you remember Alton Brown come out with this thing here a few years ago? He called it, what do you call that series? It was like Reloaded or something like that. And so I did a red beans reloaded, and I showed mistakes I made in the first one. And then I corrected it on the second one, kind of like what he was doing on that food challenge.
That's what I was going to ask you. Is it like when you get to where you're at, you've smoked hundreds of briskets, some point you messed up on one, or there's something changed or something like that, and you go back and revisit it.
Yeah, absolutely. That, and just maybe if it's good content, it's like doubling down on something. You know, how many crawfish bowls have I done? You know what I'm saying? I'm constantly
well, those are always going to hit. Those are always going to be.
I try to do one a year because I know that video is going to do well for me. You know?
Absolutely.
I've got one right now from last year that's still just, man, it's one of my top money makers right now.
Really?
Yeah, I imagine if it keeps that pace up, it'll go over 1 million views probably in another 5 months, maybe.
I love it.
Awesome.
You know?
I love it. Robert in the comments, again, appreciate the comment, man. Asks, do collabs help? Collaborations with other people, and that's a great question.
No, it really does, and I learned that early on, especially.
Really? See, I would have thought it would have.
Especially the collabs where you're like, hey, I'm collaborating with, you know, whoever over here. Go over there and check his video out. When you get through with this one, you know, if they're my subscribers or want to see my video, you might get a few go over there.
Right.
Okay. It's not earth shattering, and what works better is when I do a shout out and I have some footage from that person, and I can say, hey, go over there and check out a buddy of mine. I'm shouting him out. And I'll be
like Mr. Brian.
I'll be running some B-roll. Yeah.
Right.
I'll be running some B-roll of him cooking and everything as I'm talking about it and everything. I did that for one guy. He got 1,000 subs overnight.
I believe it.
You know?
I believe it.
Wow.
I believe it.
And I did it for another channel, and man, luckily that video was one of those that did good, and that really paid off for him, you know.
Yeah.
But my idea of a collaboration is when I have somebody in my actual video.
Correct. Right. Like physically there. Yeah.
Right. That's
like hanging out with you.
I'll do that all day long. But those other type of collaborations, no.
There's we mentioned, I think, at the very beginning of this chat, and we haven't went back on it yet. Is this the first time you've went to Memphis in May and like competed professionally?
Yeah, and I didn't compete. I was invited by Hog Addiction.
Okay.
They are the team. And my sole purpose of going there, you know, Brian's was to do TikTok videos, and mine was to try to get enough content to do some sort of video. And I did every bit of it with my cell phone.
Yes.
Because I wasn't dealing with a bunch of cameras, and forget audio. I had to do voiceovers on that whole thing because
you can't hear anything. Yeah.
With that and music play and copyright strikes and stuff like that.
Yes.
And I was just invited because I've never been, and I'm not into competition barbecue. I was invited to the Shed SCA competition back in 2020. And
to compete or to judge?
Well, I actually cooked in that one. Me and Brian Ducharme did the ribs.
Okay.
And I thoroughly enjoyed that day too. Yeah. I did cook in that one. And out of over 200 teams, we ranked in the top 25% with our ribs, which I thought was excellent.
Yeah.
Since I've never done competition ribs, and I know what was wrong with them. The Gateway, I had just gotten it. It was my second cook on it, and I didn't know how to judge the amount of wood I'm putting in it. You know,
that was a bold move, taking a new smoker in there, a new cook.
But I know on the pit barrel cooker, very little smoke wood to get you a lot of smoke. So I put very little smoke wood. They were lacking in smoke flavor. They were delicious. Other than that, they were really good, but there wasn't enough smoke on them. But bite through, looks, everything about them was really good. I could have probably ranked in the top 10 if they'd had a bit more smoke.
Did I hear you right though? You don't enjoy competition?
No, it's not. I don't enjoy it. It's just I've never done it. Now I'm at the age I don't want to follow it, man. That one thing, you got to have a lot of money.
Yes,
and you got to have a lot of time.
It's a lot of work too.
You're on the road a lot. It's like, it's a lot of work.
You can't like kind of selectively choose, like I'm gonna do this, this, and this. You're saying like if you want to compete and actually make money or rank, you got to be in
I don't
the trenches.
Know. I mean, people win and stuff like that, but I don't know if anybody ever recovers what they spend.
No. We had what episode was that on with Trevor with the crawfish cook-off that we had a few episodes back? We talked about that.
Yeah,
man, like you started with man caves. How it is. We'll spend $2,000 to win a $40 trophy.
Right.
As long as I can show it to you and go, ha, you didn't win, right?
Right.
That's all
it
is.
It's just like, woo.
It's pride.
And next year it don't mean nothing,
Right.
I come in first Memphis in May. Next year it's a new game. It don't matter what you did.
Well, that's actually a great segue too, because what a lot of those guys do, Cosmo comes to my mind. Q, I don't know if you're familiar with him.
Darren?
I don't know him personally. I just watch a lot of his videos too. When you get that rank or that title though, you can then transition that over into bragging rights in your actual brand. And I wanted to ask you this earlier. Have you talk about monetization of videos and making money. Mm-hmm. Have you thought about, I see you're wearing a hat and we do hats as well, but have you thought about, that's what I'm saying, his own hat. Have you thought about rubs or any kind of product that is a smoky rib? Or I told Joey before you got here, I was like, Russ could open up a restaurant tomorrow.
Yeah.
And it would kill. I know the logistics in that. And you're like, hey, I'm retired. I ain't doing that. Yeah. I get it, but you got the recipes and the talent, but a rub or anything like that you could sell on your channel?
Yeah, I've thought about it. And matter of fact, I played with rubs and things like that. I had a company one time that wanted to put my label on his rub. Like, no. I said, if I ever do your rub, it's going to be my rub.
Right.
It ain't going to be your rub with my face on it. I'm not going down that road,
Yeah.
And so we didn't. But I thought about it. But I'll be honest with you, believe it or not, even though I'm retired, I spend a lot of time. Like I was going all day Tuesday. We got started like 10:30 in the morning, and at 2:00 a.m. I'm just finishing up. It was 2 long cooks, and I was just exhausted Wednesday.
Oh yeah.
And I went into editing this morning. That's one reason I forgot about. I actually went into editing yesterday, but and then I've got another video to edit after that to have it ready to go out Monday. So. But I'm doing more, I think, or trying to do more than what I was doing prior to retirement.
Yeah, because you don't have.
It's a full-time job using AC.
It really is. My wife said, she goes, "Well, you need to go do something." I said, "I'm working."
Yeah.
You're still in your underwear. I said, I'm
still working.
Yeah.
I'm just more comfortable.
That's been the goal. That's my goal right now, is to be able to work in my damn underwear. You know what I mean?
I'll put pajamas on sometimes, man. I'm in them all day long.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. And you're doing what you enjoy and what you love. Correct. So I love that.
So do you have a merch line? Is that merch line available to the public, or is that just for you?
Yeah, I've got places I buy my stuff now. If you go to YouTube and if you don't have ads turned off, you'll see like Teespring t-shirts and stuff. But it's not coming from me. It is my logos. Yeah. But I don't sell very many there. I don't.
Yeah, but you get the kick on. You get a percentage.
They actually do pretty good. Like for a $20 shirt, I get $10 off of it.
Yep.
So it's really, if somebody wanted to support me on the channel, that's a great way of doing it, because I get like $10 per shirt.
Yes.
I'll look in there every now and then. Oh, I sold $50 worth for me.
Yeah. It's drop shipping, so you don't have to deal with any of it. Yeah, I get that.
Your hands. All you do is just make videos and watch it.
Yeah.
You said I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say I might get into doing my own at some point in time. I don't know. Maybe not. Probably not. But
okay. Well, it's honest though. I like that.
As long as you keep wearing that brown water hat, we're good with it.
Yeah.
That's right.
You mentioned though you're up to like 2 a.m. or recording videos, doing the cook, and then editing. So you're still editing your own stuff.
Oh yeah.
Is that because you enjoy it?
I enjoy it.
Okay. All right. Cool.
I enjoy it. That's really my favorite. That's my wind down time, man. I'll sit there. That's where I can get very creative.
It's fun.
It is.
It's fun. I edit
it.
our stuff, and it's like the reason that it's fun is because it kind of pisses you off a little bit, at least me, because it's work. I mean, you're working you're like, oh damn, this ain't working. I got to change that, and then you get deep into something. You're like, man, that's like 45 minutes. But once it's done, and you're like, it's like you polish like maybe somebody who carves something out of wood, and then it's done. It's like I like that. That's cool.
Yeah, I'll get rewarding with it, and I'll get my wife to say, "Come in here and watch this, and tell me if you see anything you would change." And she'll sit down, and I'll put it on big screen and play it all the way through, and she'll laugh in parts of it if I'm doing, which I hardly ever inject humor. I guess I should do more of it, but I will occasionally.
Yeah.
And anyway, she'll let me know. Well, you need to change this. I said, why?
Yeah, right. I had it right. Yeah,
well, she's always right.
I'd love to see the blooper reels. Do you already have them out? Or
I don't. I was going to actually start with my video I'm doing tomorrow on the brisket.
Yeah,
and I'm going to save any footage from that.
Okay. Yeah, we had a ton of bloopers.
I would have a ton of them if I'd saved them all these years.
Yeah,
dropping briskets on the ground.
Do you keep all your? I'm asking this personally because I need to know. Do you keep all your stems, all of your? Once you render that video, do you delete everything?
I do.
I can't do it yet, Russ. I'm still holding on. And I go, Jared, you'll never use these tracks again. Why are you? And it's like almost a terabyte of information. Like, why do you still have them? And I'm like, I don't know. I just don't want to delete them.
A buddy of mine, Jeff Rice with Dead Broke Barbecue, he saves everything.
Yeah.
I mean, everything.
Jared's a hoarder.
In that sense, yes, but not in other stuff because clutter kills me. I don't like it.
And doing these blooper reels, I might have to start doing it. Get a dedicated drive.
You have to.
And just if nothing else, cut it down to bloopers and shove it in there.
Right.
But right now, and what I've been doing for a long time is once I edit a video and render it to my computer, I save that and I save the thumbnails that I use for that video and I store them. By some chance, I need them,
Correct.
Yeah.
And I can still pull that video into my editor. If there's a section there I need some B-roll.
Oh, you
cut it. Yeah.
No, you have to. That's your intellectual property. You have to keep the finals. Don't just rely on YouTube or Facebook.
Right.
If those things, for whatever reason disappear.
Close out.
Yeah. Or decided, hey, we're taking our servers down and you don't got your stuff.
Yeah.
You have to own that.
Oh, yeah.
You have
absolutely.
to, for sure.
And, I've got 8 years of content on one hard drive that crashed on me here recently.
No way.
Put it in the freezer.
Wait a minute.
I've got to take it somewhere to see if they can recover this data. That's 8 years.
Put it in the freezer.
I told him.
Put it in the freezer?
Put it in the freezer.
Really?
24 hours. Pull it out cold. Plug it back in.
Please.
Try it.
Okay.
Is that for real?
Yeah, I'm serious.
It's like rice on a cell phone?
So it's plates. It's all plates. So what happens
on an SSD or a disc?
On a disc. Yeah, I don't know what are you doing.
The one I'm talking about is the old disc type. It's not an SSD drive.
Put it in the freezer, and what it does is those plates freeze back on top of each other, and you can read it. So try that tonight. Put it in the freezer.
Please Google that before he.
No, I'm 100%.
I will.
I swear to God, put it in the freezer.
I hate for him to do that though. He like sends us a message. He's like, "You just ruined it for sure."
It's already ruined right now.
Well,
so what does it matter?
I don't know. Maybe somebody can fix it, like FBI forensic team.
It doesn't matter if you get it cold or not.
They got into.
I think they can go in and scrub the drives or whatever and get the data.
Put it in the freezer for 24 hours and try.
I'm gonna try that.
All right. Okay. He's a brave man.
It did make a noise before it like done whatever it's done, but it's not even reading it at all. It's not even showing that. It shows it, but it's not showing it. What is it? It's been a while.
That's even there.
Try the freezer. If it don't work, you have to bring it to somebody.
That's why I only like to use SSDs, and then I also keep it. Every file that we have is on my computer and on that 3 terabyte. No, Google Drive's too expensive and it takes too long because then you have to upload. No, it takes too long. I have a 3 terabyte SSD. It's literally this big.
Yeah, the cloud service, that's the only problem. It takes forever to get that stuff on there.
Correct.
And then I would need another computer.
Correct.
With its own internet to just constantly upload all that stuff.
Correct. That's why I don't like it. And then you pay a subscription fee, and I was like,
we're poor.
I don't want to do that. Well, even if you can, which we can afford it, but it's just not. I don't know. It's not for me for right now.
Either.
So I don't know.
Well, I should have backed that up with another drive a long time ago, and that was on me.
Yeah, and that's what I do. I keep ours in duplicate. So, I don't know, man. I love what you're doing, dude.
Yes.
That channel, the whole story. I mean, have you done a podcast before? Is this the first time your subscribers can get like the deep dive on all your stuff?
I did a couple of podcasts, but it was from my desk at my house. I don't know how he had
digital.
it
Yeah. We do those.
Never
Yeah.
in studio.
Right. I've done that before. Only twice, I think. Once, I know.
Told your backstory and everything.
Yeah, just asking questions as they come to me, and that question, what got you into this?
Yeah. It's a good story. That's our favorite part.
Probably wasn't as cool as this one, though.
No, definitely wasn't. There's no doubt. That's my favorite part of this whole thing that we do is getting to hear this story. Just for instance, for me, like knowing the intro music was a guy that you worked with, and then you shipped it off to Nashville.
That's awesome.
That's killer.
Yeah.
I just thought he recorded it and sent it to you or whatever.
No,
that's awesome.
If you listen to that music, it's top notch.
It is. I did notice that. I did notice that for sure.
Yeah. And I used to know all the artists' names and which group they played for, but it's been so many years now. I done forgot.
Yeah.
I love it, dude. I love it. I love it. We got to get Joey and I are trying to get into the barbecue world a little bit. We got some ideas on the table that we haven't. I don't know if we did. Sometimes
it's tough. It's like he said. There's so many people in it now. It's tough.
Some things that we want to do, events or whatever, and we'd love to have you a part of them. We'll talk to you about it after we, end the show or whatever. But where can we send everybody? Where obviously Smokey Ribs Barbecue with no E on YouTube. You're crushing it there. What about the TikTok? How do we find you on TikTok for these youngsters?
Smokey Ribs Barbecue. Instagram, Smokey Ribs or Smokey Ribs Barbecue. They all have that same pig icon that I use.
Yes.
And is that the easiest way to get in touch with you?
The easiest way to get in touch with me.
Instagram, email.
Probably. I also have a website, and you can message me through the website.
Okay.
And
And what's that website?
I've got it turned off on my Smokey Ribs Facebook. You cannot message me there because I was just getting flooded.
Oh yeah.
How do you do this? I'm feeding 100 people. I need to know how many shrimp. I'm like, oh my Lord, I ain't got time for this,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And no offense to the people asking,
right?
But it's just like it's impossible.
It's a math equation at that
it's
point.
One every now and then. That's one thing, But I'm showing you how to do it. You're going to have to do the math.
It's like the person that asked on the Facebook Marketplace ad, "Is this still available?"
Yeah.
It's like, dude.
And then they never show back up.
It's still, the ad's up. It's available.
Right. Yeah, exactly. So I turned that part off, and mainly also because it's being controlled by a third party now. I can still go in there and post on mine. I do occasionally, but all those short videos,
Have you been happy with that company? That's one thing we didn't really touch on.
Yeah.
So far, and I just started doing it at the first of the year.
Did they reach out to you? How did that even get brokered?
I got an email, and I didn't know who they were. I would. That's one of them emails I would have passed, and I got a phone call from another YouTuber.
Okay.
That lives down in Panama. He's from the States, but he's been in Panama for like the last 10 years. And he says, "Hey, have you ever heard of this company?" I'm not going to say their name.
Yeah.
But he said their name. I said, "Wait a minute." I looked on my email. I said, "Yeah, I got an email yesterday." He goes, "Don't throw that away. Don't do it." And he knows another YouTuber, and the guy's a year and a half in with him, and just from Facebook, he's generating a ton of money.
Sweet.
Wow. We get ads or emails all the time. Hey, Brownwater Banter, we see, and it's broken English, and it's like, you not rank on Google high. Yeah. We can fix
delete,
and I'm like,
delete.
I'm not doing that game, So it's good that there's actually companies out there sending emails who do well for you. And just from what little I know about the social media game, that is the way to do it. Rehashing your YouTube, and if they're editing in 1x1, which is the format that your phone is in, and then re-putting them out there, you're just making money off of stuff you've already done.
Exactly. That's exactly right. And they've already had, I don't know, I'm saying this, it could be more than that because I don't stay on it very much. The people on YouTube can be ruthless, man. You go in there and read some of the comments.
Oh, it's ridiculous.
And it's just like,
you don't know what you're doing and all this kind of shit.
Yeah, this guy's clueless, blah, 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 And so, I just had to just get off of it.
Correct.
I said, okay, whatever. You think what you want to think.
Well, you can't argue with them because
you can't.
It doesn't make any sense.
One of the ones I saw a lot was the gloves. People are big on gloves when you're cooking. It's like he's making a thing at his house that he's going to eat.
Yeah, what does it matter?
This is not a restaurant. I don't get it.
Some people say no thanks. I'm like, well, I didn't make it for you anyway.
You're not gonna get it anyways. Yeah.
Yeah, there's no chance that you
Yeah.
eat this.
Yeah.
So let's plan a date and we'll go out to Ship Island and catch a bunch of mullet and then smoke it.
There you go. That
on
sounds
Yeah,
like a
yeah, we'll
plan.
film the video catching them and then bring them back.
Yeah.
And we'll have a little shindig and
Heck
just smoke
yeah.
for us.
Heck yeah.
I love it, man. I love it.
Yeah.
Thanks so much for stopping by this evening. I honestly apologize live on the air for it taking this long. We should have had you on
Oh man.
episodes ago.
Trust me, I understand, and I appreciate you guys reaching out and get me on here.
Yeah, we're
Yeah,
huge
thank
fans, and if we can reach out again and maybe do some of the Joey and I keep talking about it, we want to have some more like bourbon-y banter, just
Oh yeah.
off the rails conversations with a couple
Yeah.
people in here, get you in here to just kind of
Hey, that's right up my alley.
there we go. There we go.
Moderate.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
well, just I call it talking shit. You know,
Yeah,
I don't know. So
There you go.
is that good? That'll work for you.
Works for me.
All right. Well, Russ, keep doing what you're doing, man. It's your channel's great. Smokey Ribs with no E. Go check it out on YouTube.
Awesome.
Help him on TikTok, man. Let's get him rolled up on the TikTok
Yeah.
subscribers because he's out there trying to make that happen too, and I think that's a good thing.
Yeah.
All the recipes that you could want, they are there. It's not just barbecue, which he does a great job at that. But like I said, we
Seafood,
said it
anything
earlier:
you want.
seafood, oysters, sauces, cheese.
Sauces, also sausage making.
Yes,
Yeah,
that's
you
right.
make your
I mean,
own sausage.
the
Yeah.
whole nine,
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's a great thing, man.
I've even done homemade pasta on there. Did that last year for
Sweet.
a different style on a crawfish etouffee.
I love
Instead
it.
of rice, I use
I
fresh
love it.
pasta.
I
So,
love it. South Mississippi All-Star right here,
That's
man,
it.
on the coast. So thank y'all so much for tuning in and watching on the live and everybody on the audio side of things. We'll see
See you
y'all on the
next
next one.
time.
That's right.